you do that with a textbook model, that spiraling thing. The nice thing here is, if you want to change the mix, okay, 30, 30, 40%, okay, you want to say, no, hindi, ngayon 20, 80, 10, or 20, 70, 10. Bahala yung teacher dun sa playlist niya na lumalabas to mix and match the videos. Now, ito yung sa Khan Academy, no? This is funded by Bill Gates and Google. So as far as they're concerned, this is good. Okay? But me, using the Pinoy perspective, this is not good. Oh, that's a Khan Academy video. I mean, a black screen. Then of course, the narration. Pero, the point here is this 2,000 videos of Khan Academy is produced by one person. Meaning, ako lang ang magaling. What about the rest of the Filipinos that can do good video materials, good mini lectures? And I don't know, you know, after maybe watching 10 of these things, you don't want to watch 200 of this na black screen. I don't know. What do you think? Is this exciting for with a Bombay accent?
Pwede i-localize yung
Exactly, exactly.
alisin yung audio siya magnarin.
Oh. Pero kailangan niyang masabayan yung penmanship o yung writing with her audio.
Translate lang niya yung sinasabi.
So we talk about globalization, etc., etc., or we talk about culture. If you ask the kids, how many folk dances do we have? We can probably name a dozen. But how many are there really? We don't know. Because in the textbook, isang dosena lang ang nababanggit. But isn't it the case that practically every province has its own dance step? Di ba? So we should... Exactly. So we should be aware that there's 100 different cultural dance steps. But the textbook model says, may tinikling lang, may pandango lang, etc., etc.
So, pag yung facet niya naka-upload na yun, naka-internet na yun, sino lang ang pwedeng mag-log yan?
Yung users. So you have to be a registered user.
Registered user.
So, okay, now comes in, okay, let me show you. To answer your question. We now go to site management. Okay. Ito na yung tinatanong mo, users and groups.
Let's say ako magpapa-register ako dyan.
Yeah. So, a new user.
So, sino ang mag-lalagay?
May either self-registration if it were liberal or centralized na based on some list, some authorized list somewhere. Yun ang mag-i-input.
I think it's an authorized list.
Yeah, so it's an authorized list.
Network administrator na maglalagay mo.
Yes. Yes.
Ibig sabihin, pag nag-login siya, tanggap mo sa agad.
Yes.
Pag may nag-login ng iba, na wala dun sa list mo, hindi siya pwede.
Right.
Hindi siya pwede. Kasi parang pre-registered na yan dahil alam mo na ito na yung mga user. Identify mo na yung feature na gagamit.
Right. Then ito yung dashboard. So every user has his own dashboard. So meron siyang parang personalized portlet.
So kaya sabihin yan, pag nakapasok na ako dyan, meron akong sarili kong dashboard.
May sarili kang dashboard, tapos i-customize mo. Kung ang hilig mo, o di ito yung una mong column. Ang list sa'yo is whatever. So ito na yung customization mo ng portlet, ng dashboard mo. So you don't have one look for all the thousands of users. Each user will say, hindi, ito yung hilig ko. At saka I only want as little as this or as much.
Kasi siguro pwede natin ipakita
Ah.
na ito na yun. Tapos itanong ko nga na how do I create my own dashboard.
Ah. So why don't we do this? Give me a class list of any section. Create na natin. Tapos ilagay natin yung pictures ng mga bata. So meron silang dashboard. Tapos pag nilive natin to dito sa taas, let them customize their dashboard. So makita agad ni Ruiz na, ito pala yung hiling nitong batang ito. Ito pala. Kasi iba yung silhouette dyan. Iba yung nakikita mo bata na
Kasi ako yung magdadagdag.
Sige.
Subukan natin yung isa. vinas. vinas at yahoo.com. Okay. So, register na ako.
Okay. So, hindi naka-configure mail server. I-configure na mail server. Mail. Localhost. Email. So add.
So, yun ang trabaho naman. Administrator. So, ma-register na ako yun.
Hindi, bakit? Richard, ba't may ganito? Failed to create your account. You are unable to save your password. Meron pang papalitan dito, yung allow self-registration. May isa pang dapat palitan sa mail server. Security, self-registration, security. Ito, enable self-registration. Since hindi natin in-enable, kailangan talaga centralized. Kung papa-allow mo na yung mga bata mismo magka-create ng username nila, i-invoke natin itong self-registration. Okay.
Security.
Now, ito naman, so let me bring you now to what you have in front of you. Okay. Doon. So this is 120 of the ESL, English as a second language na channels. Okay? So, kumbaga, that is what's out there for free already. So someone has to, the English teachers now, and maybe the students themselves, now have to appreciate, okay, parang I have 120 possible sources. Ano ba yung gusto natin? Ano ba yung pwedeng pakinabangan sa classroom? Ano ba yung magiging, useful? I, as a curator, have no intention of saying, no, you should only limit yourself to 3 or 5 or 1. what's the point? Diba? So it's up to people now to say, hindi. O sige, maganda yung Voice of America. Uy, maganda yung BBC. Uy, maganda pala yung show dun sa Australia. Uy, meron palang user-generated content na ESL. Or maganda pala yung kay Teacher Phil. Okay? So you now have the teacher's taste and the user's taste. Okay? So in fact, here now, we didn't add it here, pero meron yung rating. So you can have 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. So aside from a tag cloud here, you will have content rating. So if more people say, uy, 5 stars to, ito 4 stars to, ito 3 stars to, etc. Before long, out of your collection of 3,000 ESL videos, uy, ito pala yung best 200 as determined by a Pinoy learner. Not by an American, not by a Korean, not by a Chinese. The Pinoy taste, the Pinoy capability. Okay? So, the challenge now is for teachers to say, okay, like ito, Voice of America, ito yung sa Voice of America. Here now, there are 2 types of Voice of America videos, the old format and the new format. The old format is just plain text, okay, and read aloud. The new format is this one that has a talking head. Okay? Talking head, scrolling text, and slow audio narration. 1/3 slower than, okay, normal English speaking. Because you're addressing a non-native English speaker, binagalan yung narration. Okay? So these are now 4-minute clips. So when I say metaphonics, I put it under metaphonics. Okay? What if we, our students, start creating something like this? Okay? Ako to, si Janina to, si Angelica to, si Jason to. Okay? Scrolling text. Okay? Logo ng deped, logo ng Kapitolyo High School.
Nakakit po niyo si Bibay. Patakpan ko lang pwede yung government.
Oh yeah, sure. No problem, di ba?
Yeah,
As long as they have the spare time and, go ahead. So like this Voice of America is quote-unquote topical. There's the education report, there's the economic report, there's the health report, okay? There's the general interest, there's the agriculture report. So bahala yung teacher, ang gusto ko, kasi ang hobby ko, agriculture rin, ang gagamitin ko na exercises is yung sa agriculture. Yung isang teacher, asawa niya, nurse or doctor or whatever, ang gagamitin ko yung health report. Bahala sila. Look at this situation. Okay? If you were in plone, you had an electronic quiz. Okay? So the quiz comes after watching a 5-minute clip, 9-minute clip, or whatever. In this case, it's a Rizal movie. It's been chopped to 17. Okay, after snippet 1, question and answer. Snippet 2, question and answer. Okay, so watching the videos and then question afterwards. Ito yung tag cloud, no? So these are tags. And this is a reflection of the Filipino taste, the Filipino psyche, if you will. Okay? The Filipino linguistic expression. Maganda, nakakatawa, very useful, informative, pangit, corny, nakakaantok, etc., etc., etc. Again, this is valuable in finding, okay, the video. Ang interest ko, YouTube ang interest ko is teacher training. Di maghanap ako ng videos na teacher training. So everything that's been tagged as teacher training by the hundreds of eyeballs that watched it, thank you. Ang interest ko, Rizal. Ang interest ko, robotics. Ang interest ko, new media. Noli me tangere, etc., etc. Okay, and this will be unique for every instance. Okay? Every server will have a unique because they have different eyeballs watching different sets of videos. Ayan, so tuloy natin. Mag-quiz siya, multiple choice. Yan, so nagpe-play yung movie. Tapos ilita niya yung movie. Tapos babasahin niya na yung, prepare niya na yung questions. Babasahin niya na yung questions. Looks ka pa ng dalawang set na tapos pag-time mo. Isa pero isa dun sa learning committee, learning materials committee. Ito na yung quiz. So,
which we are going to distribute ang kind of book na.
Pagpunta na lang dito, di ba? So para pag may take home sila, uy, overwhelming, ang dami pala, no? Hindi natin napapansin to.
Hindi. Bakit hindi doon sa pangalan nito? Sa printer mo ba doon ito?
Wala nang tinta yung printer mo. Ubus na yung color print niya. Kasi color yung original niya. Unless you wanna reproduce color.
Mas maganda na akong nako. Kung hindi naman.
Bibili ka ulit ng cartridge. 150 pages na yan na color.
Kaya nga, yung isang kwan mo, ubus dyan.
Ano pa? So, possibilities, issues.
Ito ba, yung kwan nila pasok doon sa outline ko na teaching the teachers, the 10 days.
I will use sections of this. Pa-isa-isa. So when I talk tagging, I'll show that video of Rizal. When I talk quiz, I show them an electronic quiz. When I show them playlist, I'll show them how to cut and paste.
Then, simultaneous yung palawas ko na sa lecture. Doon mo hugutin yan.
Yeah. Any questions?
So, in short, we will be ready to present this to them. At the time, ready tayo to present this.
Hindi. I mean, di ba ang gusto makita is actual use. Or, hindi naman actual use, but potential use. Paano ba ang gamit niyan?
Tulad nung tinanong kanina, I'm teaching algebra. And then the question is, what are variables? How can I use the facet? Pakita natin yun. Okay.
So, ang proseso na, okay, the important thing is, they have a repository, they have, okay, the main server, with say, for discussion purposes, they have 300 gigabytes. Okay? So, step one is the teachers, based on subject matter, assignments, etc., will appreciate, uy, okay ang Khan Academy, meron na akong pag-umpisan sa algebra. Okay, uy, okay yung MIT OpenCourseWare, meron na akong pang physics, etc., etc. But that is just the beginning. Because, kumbaga, they have a better feel of what is mas resonating with their audience. Okay? So now, they need bandwidth to surf the net and find out, quote-unquote, okay, more, okay, appropriate YouTube channels or YouTube videos. So having said that, doon papasok yung Mactena. Okay, so high speed. Oh, meron ako nakikitang 50 na bago. O sige, in 2 days, lalagay mo yung 50 doon sa server. So ikaw, yung teacher, siya na mismo pumili ng 50 na yon.
Yung kanyang
Diskarte na yon. So that's in fact, you know, as important than what we have here already. Because this is my taste. If my taste is a little bit off because of my orientation, my taste preference, okay, because I'm looking at a college audience versus a public school, high school audience, etc., etc., the teacher is in the best position to be the gatekeeper to select or harness what's out there, collect it, and bring it into the repository. Ikabit mo dito yung broadband. Gawa tayo ng isa. Nag-guide ko sa Dawin. Hindi ba magpa-plug and play yan? Kung i-reboot natin? Ay, wala tayong router. Walang router. Wala kang internet connection kasi Linux to eh. Hindi gagana yung Windows na Wala kang internet dyan na may internet?
Wala. Sarado dun sa taas. Kaya dyan yung
Ito. Okay. Then, why don't we do this? Okay? Yung algebra site, kunin mo sa YouTube ngayon, broadband, lagyan natin sa USB, lipat natin dito.
So, tulad yan, sinabi mo, ano ka magagamitin dyan? Nasa YouTube na.
Kaya nga.
Ano sagot doon?
Ang sagot doon is, ilan doon sa mga estudyante ang may access sa YouTube. Okay? Number 2 is, YouTube is a moving target. Okay, what if it's already blocked? What if somebody said, no, let's take it out. It broke copyright, etc., etc. Okay? So, it's here now, it's safe. Okay? As in, hindi na mawawala. Okay? And then, in YouTube, yes, ang assignment mo, algebra, ang pinanood mo, iba. Dahil ang daming links sa YouTube. Let's call that noise. Diba? Eh, mas marami pa yung noise kesa dun sa assignment mo.
Kasi marami na mga pwede itanong.
And then number 3 is, how can you add value? Sure, you tag in YouTube. But your tag will get buried, okay, with the tags of the entire American population. So, hindi rin makikita, hindi rin magiging visible. So, those are the 3 things. Quote-unquote, permanence, okay, anti-noise, and then the value added of tagging and playlisting. Especially if you playlist it already in your virtual classroom space.
Ito, at this stage, good after private
What do you mean geared up?
Nakakuha niya,
Well, number one, it has lots of religion. So I don't know if religion sits well with the public school system.
well, nakakuha niya. My point is,
It's not.
Di ba? Kaya nga. So, in the public school system,
Kasi may mga
wala,
Muslim,
di ba?
mga Muslim tayo, may ibang
Exactly.
ano tayo, kaya bawal.
so the entire folder of religion doesn't get published in the public school system.
no, my point is, if I would be on the deped side, and afford ako, I was able to afford I share there. I share there, I share walang naman. Would you be willing or will you be able to fill it up? Cost for a cost.
To fill it up? No, you can fill up the 300 gigabytes. Okay? For a cost, whatever it is, okay? The important thing is you now have the quote-unquote curation / appreciation specialists committee group.
Katulad yan, ano? We are going to assemble a server sa NCR. Wala naman. How are we going to look at it to be useful? We are in the private side.
That's why Doming will answer that. I know how it's going to use it the private sector side. Okay? I don't want to preempt the public school how they will use this thing. Imagination is more important than knowledge.
I know. Again, for all the things that you have done, I'm looking at it on the business model. Nagawa kami ngayon, mga quotation, is 70,000 to 25%. Wala naman naman. Saan pa paano nila magagamit yun and maximize? So, if I will be on their side, siguro and this will cost, I'll be able to use what you have.
Okay, let me very blunt about this thing. Okay, there are two values that are being inputted into the server. Okay, the plone content management system with the graphics, with the scripts, with the additional products, etc., etc. Okay, and open media from the web. Okay, I don't claim that I own the media from the web. Anybody can download it. In fact, I'm starting, here you are, 300 gigabytes, okay? For free? For free. But if I put 300 gigabytes there, without the plone platform, you end up with your situation. Folders. Okay? So what is the value now of the software and the customization of the software and the technical support that will go with that thing?
So, the one that will be pricey will be the content management.
Absolutely. That's why it leads to what you call software as a service. The Mindanao model. Okay? One student, 300 pesos per annum. Okay? 200 class days. So, ang point of view nung parent, 300 divided by 200 class days, 1 peso and 50 per day. Okay? Mag-internet cafe yung bata, 15 pesos, 1 hour. Pero, may mga nangyayaring hindi ka nais-nais dun sa internet cafe, okay? At naubos na yung 1 hour, hindi pa tapos yung assignment. Kasi nagdiwalik na yung bata sa web eh. Punta sila dun sa computer lab, tapusin mo yung assignment mo for 1 peso 50 cents a day, pwede ka nang mag-submit ng homework mo next week. So, yun yung value sa private sector. Kung ikaw yung parent, yung 150, okay na yun. Dahil 15 pesos yung isang oras na hindi pa matatapos eh.
Di ba sabi ni
Luis?
It has to be the package.
Yes.
Ano ang intended mo ng package?
It depends on the size of the user base. Kasi iba yung kliyente ko, let's say 20 librarian. 20 librarian lang yung kausap ko. If there's any problem, I will support 20 librarians. Okay? Now, what if there is no tech support or somebody knowledgeable, within the deped hierarchy, and my user is 5,000 teachers. At any given time, any of those 5,000 teachers can call me, text me, or whatever, and I have to support. Ibang usapan yung 5,000 teachers versus 20 librarians. Do you agree?
Hindi, religion ang tumalang ko dito on the concept ng NCR. Tinitingnan mo kung paano ang best arrangement.
Doming knows the finances better than I do. I know the private sector side. They have some leeway with library books, with IT, with bandwidth, or whatever. That's where you're gonna parang get a little bit from here, a little bit from there. Or, if that's a deped source, the other alternative is to have it sponsored. So if you go back to facet, okay, if you look here, the left side and the right side, just like what you have there, the left side and the right side are blank. So sponsorship. Brought to you by mayor whatever. Coming from governor whatever.
Which baka naging tayo sa Department of Education when
Yun na. So it's okay. So that's the first concern. Okay. The second is in Mindanao schools, it is very clear that the student, okay, and the school, they agree on 1 peso 50 per day because there are enough computers inside the campus that makes people, the students, be able to access when they need it. So, the problem with deped is, okay, I have one server and I have 4,000 students and I only have 3 computers. So, at any given time, if you don't have enough machines to make this content flow, people will say, well, hindi naman kami maka-access eh. Tapos nagbabayad yung deped na ganyan kalaki. Ay, may malaking kumikita dyan. Diba? Because there's a scarcity somewhere. So that metric is important. In the States, the ideal situation, the states are targeting, okay, sa K-12, 1 computer for every 10 students. Deped is very far from that. Tama? I mean, you're one of the fortunate that has 4 computer labs or 3 computer labs.
alternative. Wala akong computer, pero I could avail with other gadgets. Possible?
Possible.
Meron isang computer, isang server, kasi maybe in the main office, maybe central office, which could be connected, could be accessed by the different school. Baka sila computer.
If they have good bandwidth. But again,
kasi masususuhan na yung doon eh.
Anything that's over the web, you know, in the public school situation, okay, I prefer local. It will not flow enough if it's centralized sa web.
The recommendation will be one server per school.
Hindi, pero pasok na nga, Doming, meron na yung tinatawag sa Ubuntu na multi-seat. So you have, ay sabi mo nga, di ba, may thin client na doon, no? So there's the Ubuntu equivalent of that already. So in a computer lab of 40 or 50 students, you can have 6 or 7 servers and then times 6 more, times 8 more. Actually, you know, just if let's talk about, you know, parang the national pride and, you know, getting stakeholders to chip in. Okay? it's very difficult for one individual to say, I will afford, 400,000 pesos to outfit the entire lab. 40 computers times 10,000, pahirapan. But one or two families can say, okay, chip in tayo kasi isang server lang na magkano yan? 40,000, tapos dadagdag sila ng 3,000 every time magdadagdag. Ay baka unti-unti na natin, mabuo natin yung 40 computers or yung 40 seats in the computer lab. So, for the year, this was brought to you by educast site.
You're talking of 40 computers. Kung sinabi mo at 10,000 each,
400,000.
400,000
That's with current technologies.
per school. Assuming kasi laki ng Pasig, you're 40 school. So you're only talking of 16 million. Which is a portion of...
To us, yes. But to those that control the purse, bakit ka maglalagay dyan?
I mean, yun ang titingnan natin. Paano mo makukonvince at congressman magkakawala ng 16 million for the school?
Simple lang. Kasi kung ayaw mo, yung opponent mo sa 2030 nang kakagat dito, tapos. Blackmail. Ayaw ni Romulo, di si Eusebio. Ayaw ni Eusebio, di siya Jaworski. Bahala sila mag-jump ball. Because the cost of not investing is you have another generation of students that are not fit for college in the new world. Given the world of open source media, open colleges. Lahat tayo babagsak sa McDonald's, saka sa Jollibee, at saka sa Mang Inasal. That is the hidden cost. The hidden social cost.
What do you think? What would you say? Ano po natin?
I don't know the mechanics. Pagdating sa learning, okay yan. Pagdating mo sa mga kung paano taas to sa mga.
That's another one. But what I'm looking at is, would this be sufficient for us to invite deped?
We have invited already. Gawa na ng paraan kung paano ang presentation.
Doming pala yung hinahanap mong algebra. I-download na natin. Tapos ipasok natin dito.
Kung ano?
Ano yun siya?
Nasaan?
Hindi, kaya na siguro pwede.
Basta sige. Hindi, yung na lang, yung source. So, sinabi mo, yung nag-submit sa YouTube.
Yung na-risk ko na. Basta yung algebra 1. Type mo lang dun sa search na algebra 1.
Actually, there's a hidden bonanza with video. Okay? We will now parang call it the open courseware dividend. Okay? The state is upping the ante. Giving this away for free, etc., etc. The UK, Australia, Singapore are not gonna sit down and let the US dominate. Excuse me. We can also do the same, if not better. Diba? National pride. So lalabas yung Singapore. This is our Singapore math. Better than the US math. Di ko na natin si Singapore math. Di sabihin ni Australia, we have Australian English better than UK or better than US.
Okay, we're getting all of this international. Yung mga math ng UP, ng Lasal, pwede ba natin kunin?
Exactly the point. So, ito na yung parang the chicken or egg. Okay? If let's call them the local hotshot professors, practitioners, educators, realize na, produce ng book. Ang kinikita ko, 150,000 for a book. Yun ang royalty payment ko video pa lang, mas madali. At saka ang user base ko pala, 50,000 na instead of 2,000 or instead of 20,000. So So now comes the monetization model. If you have, okay, the local, in fact, sorry, let me be very clear. In fact, my target for 2012 is to curate, okay, up to 4 terabytes. But I want, and I'm looking for 1 terabyte of Pinoy content. Because given the choice between propagating and distributing and, you know, disseminating Western content, if there is Pinoy content, I will propagate it. Pasok na doon yung CCP. Pasok na doon whoever the what do you call them? The UP professors and the authors, if they realize, uy, meron din palang viable model dito because they now see, uy, yung portal ng math used by a couple of 100,000 deped students na pala yan.
I'm just now thinking of naming the program project. Kaya kanina, kanina sa umaga, di ba tinatanong ko sa inyo, yung media center, which we're talking about, media center. Before coming in, puro pa ako, if we could name this project, educast media center 4, kapitolyo high school, educast 4, facet elementary school. I mean, just to distinguish kada school for them to have their own identity. Would that be alright? Media center, it's a sort of a media center. Because that will be a rivalry. Meron silang kwesa kung library hub.
Library hub. Yung kinento ko, meron library hub sa San Pablo.
But just to separate it from that, you just have to elaborate the way we look at it. Not to be governed by the library hub.
Yeah, the question now is, okay, you're looking at servers, okay? Look at a network of servers.
It's a network of servers. Because we could have it first under NCR, network of server under NCR. Because each division, meron kanina ng appropriation. So on that note, it could be figure out on that concept.
Well, I don't know. Okay, my
still up towards that direction.
My 2 cents worth is I will reserve, okay, the name for deped to determine, and then it's just powered by.
No, the reason I am only distinguishing
because if you do that, no, whatever, okay, if they name it, then you've already gotten them. Hindi sa education, hindi. Sabi mo lang, for lack of a better term, deped e-live. If they named it deped e-live, so be it. Okay, sa kanila yun. The name. So I will wait for them to give a name to this thing. And then tayo powered by.
Because what we have now is a talking line with NCR. The idea ng NCR is for all divisions, hindi ko alam kung extended all the way to the school, but for all divisions to have their own separate. Precisely the reason...
Division, not schools.
Hindi pa, yun ang starter. Because ang kanilang appropriation na ay nasa division. Kung kanino nila i-direct ng division, kung kanino school ang bibigyan, is another thing. Kaya minamanda na yung perito yung assembly ng kwan yung takbuhan ng kwan.
Anyway, so my 2 cents worth I've expressed it. Let deped. Kasi they come up with the name and, you know, it's agreed upon by the, let's say, the school superintendents. Uy, atin yan. Tayo, in fact, yung pagpapangalan ng kumbaga anak. Ako nagpangalan sa iyo eh. Di ba? Hindi yung contractor ang nagpangalan.
Ano, ang kaya ano, there is such thing as parang competition among the college. Different regions. Lahat ng mananayo, meron na siya, meron na kami, wala pang website.
Let them name their baby. Why should you name their baby for them?
Okay. But I may always suggest na pangalanan din yun. I need to prove them to go towards that direction. Ano pala yung sinasabi mo that each division will have their own private network, private website?
Kapalitan mo lang yung homepage. You can customize this thing. If you were given the, what would you name this thing? Whether it's unique to Pasig or whatever, or unique to Kapitolyo, what would you name this thing? Name this portal, this space. Doming's Web Media Center.
Kapitolyo High School Learning Portal.
Learning Portal, yun. So if that's what they name it, this is Kapitolyo High School Learning Portal instead of facet. Somebody says in yung Quezon City, this is Quezon City Media Center, the Quezon City Media Center.
Papalitan na lang yung facet niya.
Yun, that's just a banner, that's a JPEG.
Pero yung content yun.
So they have ownership. Litrato ko yun nandun. Ako yung nag-invento ng pangalan na yun. Akin yan. Paalagaan ko yan. Hindi kay educast yan.
Hindi, I'm only, when meron walang pangalan, I will just stop sa walang pangalan. In the absence of any one.
Anything else? Ano yung major reservations or major parang hurdles pa na dapat
yung katulad nga dinownload natin yung movie na audio tapos i-upload dyan.
Simple lang. So, like...
hindi yung simplicity. I-train mo naman. Pwedeng magtanong niya kaya nga meron tayo dito. Dito na tayo pipili. Bakit i-upload ko kayo?
Saan yung dito tayo pipili?
Dito, yan yung task niya. Ano na lahat ng thousands of videos. Yung pala yung nahanap ko, wala dyan. Tapos nakita ko sa YouTube. Tapos yung nakita ko YouTube,
Teka nga, the key here is, okay, this is your starting point. This is not your destination. Your 300 gigabytes is your starting point for curation. It should not stop there. It should, okay, in fact, like a tree, yung math group, masipag. Yung science group, mas masipag. Okay, so let it spread depending on who's most masigasig and masipag for this thing. There is no stopping. In fact, parang